So we will just let know the several points, or we are having curious regarding the few things. I want to just know, or maybe the participants also want to know how we have to just understand these all parameters or something. So especially as a moderator, I'm just having a few questions with the Dr. Divya Jain. And how the difficulties develop to a reliable suppliers network in eyes on cost. Maybe there will be some difficulties or something like.
It is definitely difficult as well as challenging at the same time, I would say, because cost reliability do not always come together with the quality. So when we talk about the cost optimization, so cost optimization is something different instead of saying the lower cost.
Okay.
So if you're buying a material, when you go and buy something, so first you choose, maybe you choose the lowest one. Oh, this looks fine, it is the cheapest one what I'm looking right now. But you have to, being into procurement or be a purchaser, you should analyze the long term things, whether it actually meets a requirement, the quality, what kind of having that material, whether it's really meeting to your regulatory requirement, how sustained that supplier is to give you those material on constant level. So this really matters into the pharmaceutical industry, because you cannot stop the plant, because your plant is keep running for 24 hours 7. So yes, cost optimization is there. I think this is the right word, I would say, instead of having eye on cost. And apart from this, from my experience, developing a reliable supplier takes time. It's not an overnight journey. If I'm having any disruption on my supply chain, so I have to find a new supplier. So before having those things, we should already having 3-4 supplier on board, where you can easily optimize the cost. Which one is supplier A, supplier B, supplier C, or supplier D. And this applies on supply. When supply is available, your material is ready, what is the payment terms they are giving. Being into supply chain, this is a very important role, whether it's how, you are getting it on credit, or you are getting it on advance. So this will give you the company the cost saving, being the procurement. So I would say cost saving is good, but having a good quality of the material to the pharmaceutical industry, this is the upper part. So that's how I am doing right now. Like, I'm not just running behind on the low cost, I'm running behind on the cost optimization.
One questions more. As per your expertise, how it will be India to develop to supply the KSM from the country like China or something other Australia like this?
Relying on China, we cannot run away from that, because China is much more ahead what we think right now. It's not like that we are not trying, or we are not having scientists, they cannot develop the chemistry. So this is something very deep down I'm talking. But being into supply chain, I can say, like government no, government took this PLI scheme, like we were just talking. So how government is supporting to bring that scheme, so many product can be manufactured in our India. So yes, India is behind, but it is not so much behind. Like, we cannot do that, because if we are going to manufacturing the KSM in India, so we should be having multiple things, not only the chemistry. We should align with the quality, we should align with the capacity, we should align with the lead time in terms of documentation, and as well as we have to keep our environment in our mind also. Because as I am dealing with the China, so there's a multiple factories has shut down due to the environmental issues. So yes, we are working on that, government is also supporting on that. Let's see how much time it will take to be compete with China. I won't say we compete, to just match their steps somewhere, so we can also support our Indian manufacturer in a very good way.
How the global scenario compare in India to record the domestic KSM manufacturing regarding the industries or the places?
Yeah, so that's a very important question, and honestly, there are many other countries like India. They are facing this, so it is not like that. Say India is only dependent upon single geography, and if suddenly some disruption happen, so everything will be disturbed. So there are many countries are facing this. So it is in one way it is opportunity for India. We do not need to copy China because again I will agree with the Divya madam that say yeah, we cannot compete. They took decades to build wherever they are today in terms of ecosystem. No, but India's own way we can certainly develop no few things. That's why during my presentation I was talking about no that's a our top products no critical products, whatever we are supplying to the world as a pharmacy of the world, no, for those top few products, if we can have some self resilience, that will be great. Otherwise, if suddenly some disruption happen, just like say COVID, so then next 2 months after that, there will be no inventory and nothing. So it is not only just revenue of India, but whole world will suffer because of lack of supply of medicine, because you know that 60% 70% vaccines comes from India, who buys that, and then this is third in the world as a supply of finished medicine. So world will suffer for that. So it is a high time that say irrespective of whatever is their situation in the globe, we must work on that as a national security and national resilience.
How we can encourage the domestic KSM manufacturing by the role of the CROs and CDMOs such like?
Yeah, so see, CRO, CDMOs, this is one of the India's strength. But currently, say what CRO, CDMO does, so they are focused on delivery mainly because so delivery means it's a revenue. But still in CRO, CDMO particularly, we are still depend upon same KSM. No, so then again go back to the same. No, means it's like a circle. No, so there I think we have to deliver. Of course, so we cannot just stop earning revenue, but at the same time, in parallel, we have to develop that ecosystem, that resilient framework I was presenting. No, so say CRO, in my opinion, can mostly participate in terms of innovation in the early stage, discovery stage, in terms of developing, say, applying, say, green chemistry, flow chemistry, biocatalysis, continuous manufacturing, developing in the R&D, and then CDMO can play a role in terms of transferring the technology. So, in addition to the delivery, we must focus on that also, so that slowly, but it will not happen overnight. It will take time, but it should be there part of our strategy. It should be discussed at the board, not at the supply chain office or at the laboratory only. So that's what I would say, that a CRO and CDMO have great role to play. It can together can function as a innovation accelerator and ecosystem builder.
Sir, actually, how to drive the innovations in encouraging the local manufacturing KSM from place to place?
So it's a very important question. Like driving an innovation, like it's not a simple task because see now in India policies are different. In as Dr. Jain mentioned, like government policies should implement some PILs policies, and Dr. Mandal mentioned like CDMOs and CMOs for business model can create some impact. So running innovation in local manufacture part is very important. We have to focus on few important parts like a few points like implementation some innovative chemistries, but like a fast like a flow chemistry as Dr. Mandal mentioned, biocatalysis, green chemistry, and some fermentation policy process technologies, and some second point is government policies that should be the like flexible and in point of documentation, in point of licensing point. Sometimes in India, a small manufacturer took almost like a 5 month or 6 month time period to get the license. So that discouraging that confidence. So more to make a motivation continuation to government should make some policies. So quick fast track system for the license purpose. And Dr. Jain mentioned that some factories, some manufacturing sites are shut down in China due to the environmental issues. So our environment policies should be like more flexible and more vigilant, so that people should understand the role of environment before doing something, before start any manufacturing processes, manufacturing of any new chemicals or some raw materials. So this is like a moral responsibility to maintain our environment. Uh, we cannot destroy our environment on cost of that new chemicals or new innovation. So this is another point. And for next point, we have to consider the regulatory bodies questions, as regulatory bodies are very so stringent guidelines they have. So we have to follow all the regulatory aspects. And the most important part, we have to collaborate with the institutions. So this is like India generate a lot of scientists from the institutions. Now IITs, IITs and some other universities, NIPER, so talented, talented person, scientists are there, and we have to collaborate with them, and we have to learn from them and implement immediate effect and get benefits. So the way we can drive the innovation in local manufacturing for compete, not I can say compete, because without that kind of feeling, I have a competition with my colleague country like China. So I will not work like not more than 8 hours. As Chinese, I work with Chinese, they work more than 15 hours. And Dr. Jain knows well, they work very quick, very fast. And one of my colleague in Japan, so they work more than 15 or 16 hours. They call me, you are lazy. So many times I said, no, I'm not lazy. I'm a health conscious like that. So, but it's not true. Actually, I'm lazy. We are doing 8 hours job only. So the way it's difficult to run innovation, but we have to set our mindset, work on mindset, because innovation not part of like a one day task. It's long journey. Recently, my previous company, Vocard, started one journey to innovation for the antibiotic. Now they launch antibiotic Xylage. So it's a 26 or 25 years long journey. So innovation required patience.
What kind of R&Ds development essential for towards the self-reliance in the manufacturing of the KSM for the upward or the development?
Because R&D have some issues, like they have some certain limit of budgets, because most of the like business owners not interested to invest that much amount in R&Ds. But for any organization, R&D is the key player to drive the business. If we work on some advanced technologies and implement their technologies for the production, for commercial production point of view, then only we can compete in the world. And the second part, R&D should work with the with collaborative work. It's not like R&D should not work in isolation. They should work with the manufacturing team with in line with the like a train, like a two-wheel type. So if we are working with the in line with the manufacturing teams, so we can reduce the problems like the failures. And if we like suppose we feel any patches on any some criticalities observed, so they can remove them immediately. So that we can save the time and money of both. So R&D. Now, number third point, like I would like to say, like R&D should hire more and more fresher candidate from the universities and the institutions. So because now we know a lot of scientists, like young scientists, my young mind, move to postdoc and move to abroad for better life. They feel like if I'm going to Europe, US, I will be a much better. I think we should hire them first and train them, and we should like the young mind chemistry and young mind approach innovation is different. So 50 years and young mind, both will work together. Experience and a young blood, they can create some history. So most important, like we should rely on young minds and hire some young graduates and postgraduate scientists, persons, students, and collaborate with the universities and work with them. They can like universities have like more infrastructure. We can utilize that infrastructure in terms of like analytical tools. We can some space. So the way we can grow.
We can clearly say the KSM reliance is not a simply supply chain or the issue. It is a strategical requirement for the pharmaceutical security and as well as the competitiveness. So we can increase the more domestic productions from the different panels or the discussions with their expertise or something. Thank you so much.